Alright, this vlog is going to be really long because it's been like 4 or 5 days since my last one. Quick thing to get off before I start. The first time I like came in this room to do the vlog, I shut the door behind me, but like the handle on the inside is kind of dodgy. I was like, fiddling with it to see if I can get back out, and it was like it wasn't working. I was like, oh shit, I've just locked myself in here. But it's all right. But I eventually got out. But it's like all duct taped up and stuff. It's really fucked. Anyway, it's just like, it's funny to me. I'm not sure if it's gonna be funny to you anymore. And I'm not really that comfortable with like talking about the funny stuff that the kids have been doing, which are here, who are here now. I feel that's kind of like a bit unfair on them. So I'm just gonna start with we stayed in Victoria at a mate's place, and we were having pizza the first night, and we walked to the supermarket to get some soft drink, some soda. And we're walking back with like these big, there must have been like 12 packs of cans, like these big sort of things. And we're walking past like Starbucks. And these cops are like, oh, hard night out there, lads. Giving a shit about carrying a soda. And I had no comeback. I had nothing to say to them. I was like, yep. Getting dizzy on the fizzy. They burnt me, mate. They got me good. And then like later on that night, we're sitting around in the lounge room, and I think like one of my Snapchats from ages ago, it was like me having the shits, and it's like a 3-second vid of just me like destroying the toilet, and I was kind of going through my feed, and I come across it. And I'm sort of like, oh yeah, this would be funny. So I passed it over to Zaya, and he has a look at it, plays the video, and it's just like, because obviously no one else in the room can see what's going on. All they can hear is something hitting like some water, and they're like, "What's that?" And so Zaya laughs, he just like pisses himself laughing, and I'm like, "Are you sure you guys want to see this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." So I get my phone. And I passed it over to like, I think it was one of the girls, and they kind of like they get the phone and then they play it, and because the video is just my face looking at the camera and kind of making a bit of a grimace, and then like something hitting some water. Oh, fuck off!
Do you want a piece of advice?
What?
Is this actually going on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is going on YouTube.
People watch it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not talking about. I'm not.
Snapchat before.
Do you want to come say hi to YouTube? Want to come say hi to YouTube?
What?
Want to come say hi to YouTube?
No.
No?
Face on the internet.
What? Don't you have a fake? One of the weirdest but funniest guys I've ever met. Oh, okay. One of the weirdest but funniest Canadians I've ever met. There you go. Yeah, and so the chick gets the phone, watches the video, and she like doesn't get it. She's like, "What's this?" And then like her mate starts laughing, and the mate's like uncontrollably laughing, and like the first girl's like, what is this? I don't understand. And then so Zaya starts laughing again because and I'm pissing myself as well. And then so this phone gets handed around the room, some people getting it, some people not getting it, and then eventually gets to Alex, who's also from New Zealand, and it gets to Harry eventually as well, and like they're all laughing because they understand the humor, like. And the Americans are like, what? Some of them are like, that's disgusting. And eventually the ones that didn't know at the start, like, kind of realized what was going on and what they just watched. And we're like, what the? So that to me was a highlight. Really funny. Went to Valley Village hospice charity. You get like lots of cheap clothes at a second hand, and they have a toilet in there. Pretty dodgy. Went in there. I was actually taking a shit, and I go in there and I kind of sit down, and I'm going along with it, and a person kind of sort of gets wheeled in and sort of pauses next to my stall. It's some kind of obviously a disabled person, and I was just thinking like, what if I'm in a disabled toilet and I'm getting a bit sort of anxious. And then, the guy next to me is just going full bore. He's farting, shitting. It's just going mental. And I'm like sitting there, like, all right, I better get out of here. And then this old man, talking to people as they walk by, like, oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm just waiting. And I'm like, oh man, I think I'm in a disabled spot. And I've actually got a photo of like the wheelchair just like being right there. My bag's like a little bit under, like just underneath him. And I'm like thinking, fuck. And it made me think of that video of that guy who went into a disabled, toilet stall, and like a disabled person's waiting outside, and he comes out like a spastic. I was just imagining like doing that. Luckily, the guy next to me finished and got out of there. So, guy in a wheelchair got in, dropped the load, and got out of there. And I checked the door. There wasn't a disabled thing on either of the doors, so I think I was alright. Worried for nothing. Zai's shirt, which originally got grabbed by the eagle and ripped up, I've got a photo of it, was returned by the eagle. It was a miracle. So that's pretty awesome. We're trying to put more of his stuff outside to try and tempt the eagle to grab it as well. We're hoping we can get through like all of his clothes, get at least a couple of rips in them, and we'll start calling his next name will become Eagle or something. Just say that he was adopted by Eagle. I don't know. Well, something will happen. Tree song. So obviously this thing called campfire, where you stand up in front of everyone who's sitting down and you do like a little skit or a little song or something funny. We didn't have ours at actual campfire. We had ours inside the mess hall, by the fireplace. We had some couches around, and it was pretty cute. And I did the tree song, which is pretty cute as well. I don't know if you really care. I might do it for the camera. Who knows? That was really fun getting up. It's just you'd probably hate it, bro. You'd probably hate it, but it is a lot of fun. And I think because when you go through like Boy Side, we don't really have drama in Boy Side. We don't really have sort of any of that sort of acting stuff going on. I think that's like music. There isn't really a drama. So I reckon you kind of lose that, going through high school. Oh, well, I reckon I lost that, and it's sort of gotten harder for me to like produce a laugh when up in front of people. Like making like facial expressions and doing all the gestures. Like it's hard. I don't get nervous, but it's harder for me. It's harder for me. So I think it's pretty cool that I'm fighting that again and having a lot of fun doing it. So there you go. Tinder Adventures. Not really anything. It was going to be something, but no. Yeah, this is about the shark. Just some guy pretending to be a shark, and I was like trying to be all cute and be like, oh, can you take me back to New Zealand, please, and all this kind of gay shit. And then he's just like, all right, but I get to fuck you in your asshole. So I found that was really funny for me. And I found some like people wanting threesomes and shit. Unfortunately, I'm a guy, so it's harder to have two guys and one girl. Oh yeah, shave the pubes. There was a lot of hair, like it wasn't going down the drain, so I had to flush that sucker out, get it to the hand, and chuck it down to I think just right into the bushes. Oh, I should have thrown it in the bin, and well. I won't actually go into like full detail about this because I think it's a bit of a sensitive topic. But basically, people here, they're all sort of like you have to respect the people around you. You have to it's all about you don't say hey guys, you say hey people. You know, it's about being gender neutral. You know, you don't want to offend anyone. You don't want to say, you know, retarded, that can offend someone. You don't want to say gay, that can offend someone. You obviously don't want to swear, like any swearing really. So it's just that sort of place. And so they had us doing activities where we see and acknowledge people's maybe people's disabilities or just the way they sort of think and feel. And it was lots of sharing going on, and actually it was pretty beneficial. But it's one of those things, I think, well, for me personally, I think I've already talked about this, but like, you'll be putting on an act, you know. I'm never going to leave this place and be like, all right, I'm going to be really sensitive when I talk. I'm not going to be, because that's just the way I am. I don't hate anyone in particular. It's just the way I talk, which is a bit shit. Maybe that might change. Who knows? But I've still got a while to go. That could change. Yeah. I think it was our second to last night in Victoria on the weekend, because it's Tuesday now. We had a bit of a sexy, weird kind of gay time on the two mattresses that we're sleeping on. That's Zaya, Harry, and myself. Took a couple of photos. Yeah, that was fun. Not really going to say much else on that. No, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to leave it at that. So yeah, and I think the following day I need to get some stuff done, because I still need to actually do that, but I need to ring up the bank and sort some stuff out. But on that day as well, I needed to ring the bank up and sort some stuff out. So I Skyped my mum and sort of got all that stuff sorted. By the time I was done, we needed to get to for Zaya to do something in downtown. So we go for a walk and we get to where Zaya needs to go. And he goes in, does everything, comes back out. And we had to I wanted to go to this yoga thing with this chick called Erica. And we're going to be late, right? So we ran pretty much from the top of downtown to the bottom, like of that sort of peninsula. And we got there on time, but because I was running in jandals, I eventually just took them off. So we're just jogging through downtown Victoria. I am with bare feet on. Felt like Matheson. Doing yoga, really great. It's called acro yoga. Is when you have a person who's a base on the floor, using their arms and legs to hold someone up above them, and the person above them is doing all these different kind of positions and flips, and it's actually really cool. I like it. I need to like it. Here's a photo of us holding out Mountain, or Harry. Huge guy, over 100 for sure. Just being held up by this dude who's like 70. So I thought that was awesome. Fat Burger. Erica showed up like halfway through the lesson, and she wanted to hang out with just the yoga people because she hadn't seen them in ages. So, and Harry was hungry, so we went to Fat Burger, and they had this challenge called like the Triple King Burger or something, which is 2 pounds of beef. And he smashed that back in, I would say, less than 5 minutes, and he got like a free whatever, and we left. I got written down Fat Burger, but that's really all that happened. And then later that night, because I still hadn't like sorted my things out with the bank, I still couldn't use any money, right? So we went to a burrito place, Takafina, and I didn't buy anything because I felt a bit embarrassed about not having any money. I already owe people lots of money, and I hate to take any more, but anyway, later on we ended up going to the movies, and my mates thought it'd be hilarious if they just like left me and Erica to go ourselves, because they wanted to give me a bit of an opening. So me and Eric went to the movies by ourselves, and I used Zaya's card to pay. Thanks, Zaya. And I had a great time. We saw Zootopia. I actually really enjoyed the movie, so there you go. And so Monday, these people arrived, called the First Peoples. They're from the kind of East Coast-ish, kind of like in the middle of Canada. They're like a bit to the east of that. With these mountains, I think. So they're but they're the First Peoples. So they're the Aboriginals of Canada. So they come along and, you know, playing some games and doing all kinds of cool things. And so the first day, I don't have any activities because, I don't know, I can't remember. So I'm just hanging around the mess hall, and Willie, the dude, like the sort of leader of the group, like the kind of tribal dude, he's sitting at the fireplace, and I just gone over there to clean some coffee up because he, I don't know, spilled it or whatever. And I'm cleaning up the coffee, and then I'm watching these people play the stick game. And what's happening, like what I'm seeing is happening, is these two people standing facing each other. And one person's got these kind of like little tubes, two of them, that are rolling together in their hands. And one of the tubes has like a coloured stripe around it, right? And he's rubbing. And he's kind of mixing them up and going like that. So you have to pick which hand, you know, the tube is in. And the other person will guess by pointing. And if they show you know, the coloured tube, the one without the stripe, then the other person wins. So they get them together, hand them over to the other person. The person gets them, rolls them together, you know, tries to do the trickery thing and goes like that. And then it's just like backwards and forwards. And if you keep guessing correctly, like, you know, consecutively, the other person starts taking, you know, the person who's winning starts taking the other person's sticks, and each person gets 5 sticks. So you keep taking sticks until you have 10 sticks, and then you win. And apparently these games can go on for hours, sometimes even days, and they were used to resolve disputes over land, over pretty much anything. And actually they have tournaments in them now, like where you can actually win cash in Canada. So that's pretty sweet. So I was watching him and his wife play, and then as he's rolling the sticks around, he starts singing like as he's rolling them together, and then eventually he's like, all right, and looks over at me, have a go, passes them over. So I'm like, like trying to like make some kind of like noise similar to his. I thought of doing like a Moldy thing. Like I only think of like one song. And like these things are going on for a while, so I don't want to just like play one song over and over again. So I start kind of copying him, and apparently, according to him, I did it right. But so I'm rolling them around, and you know, I start winning, but like we're not really playing for sticks yet. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, let's play for real." And he pulls his chair up and gets like a little desk, and I'm like, "All right." So I get up, pull my couch up, and we're both sitting facing each other. All right, and he passes me the sticks. I just go. Rolling around, put him out front, and we start playing, and I must have gotten like 2 sticks away from winning. He had 2 sticks left, and he came back and beat me. But it was a real fun experience. Yeah, it's all about, you know, obviously it's chance, but a bit of it's like looking into the other person's eyes. Knowing where they tend to put which color and which, so that's part of it as well, and that's why he started beating me, man. Because I was really getting into it, man. I was really getting loud, because what will be happening is because you're playing so quickly, it'd be like, you know, you're rolling together, you're putting them out, and he's guessing them, and he's getting it right. So you're like, oh. And you go pick them up. And it's just going like that. And it was actually really funny. His wife was laughing, and but there was no one else around. And I talked to a couple of other instructors, and I haven't really had a chance to see this. and his people are here as well, like first people that haven't actually heard of the game. I'm not one to judge. So that's the game, and then for the rest of the day, I just walked around and yarned, talking to random people. Yeah, it was heaps of fun. It was a couple of things that happened. That was just kids being kids, so I'm not really going to mention it. It was just funny. It was just funny to me. It wasn't really worth mentioning. Also, when the first people arrived, they did a kind of orientation, and one of the things in the orientation is telling people what to do if a bear shows up. And what you do when a bear shows up is you stop, you put your hands up, and you make yourself look bigger, and then you start singing jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, and you start like walking backwards away from the bear. And the counselors in the middle needed an example. So they looked around and saw me. They're like, "Oh, look over there, a bear." And I'm like, "Oh, God." And they're like, "Come." And I'm like, oh. So I put down my glasses and I put down everything, and I'm like walking towards them. And they're like, "Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell." Like going backwards. And I'm like, "Oh." Away from them. And it was pretty funny. Everyone was laughing, so. And it was just a funny thing, because I was the only person ready that was watching. Everyone else had kind of like gone and hidden. So I was the only dude around, so they're like, "Yeah, let's get Pio. Also, what happened at dinner that night, I thought was pretty brutal. So some kids broke the rules. They didn't walk in twos with shoes. So that's walking by yourself, and I guess without shoes on. Or maybe just one of the rules, walks by yourself. So these two kids that broke the rules, they got called up on stage, and like one of them was like pretty much crying. And they got called out, and then they were like told to write your name on a piece of paper using your butt or something. But like one of them couldn't even really do it. And then like it ended up, because she was obviously like being traumatized. It ended up everyone still clapping for them for having done it. So a bit weird, whatever. People's way of doing things. I'm not one to judge. 23 minutes, bro. Hey? That's a lot of shit talking. Lunch is in 26 minutes. So I better go back, call the bank, get some stuff done. Yeah, Tuesday, the 10th of May, Camp Thunderbird. Beautiful day, no wind. Spring's here. Have a good one.